Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well, and just like that, the September camp is officially over and we are one step closer to the 2026 World Cup, and yet again, we are left with question marks. Today we're looking at the two international friendlies that the USA men's national team had against South Korea and Japan. And there's a few things to talk about and to consider. This will be a quick video. And my initial thoughts on this camp was not a good camp. Probably a 4 out of 10 rating. I think there's a few things that we can take away and take with this, but I think the majority of it needs to be left behind. We'll talk about how I'm really feeling specifically towards manager Pochettino and how I'm feeling in that regard. But about this Korea game, this was really frustrating to watch as a USA men's national team fan, because we've seen under guys like BJ Callahan and even under guys like Greg Berhalter where we can compete with like teams that are a little bit better than us. I'm just concerned about how we've been playing in the top 20 against the top 20 FIFA ranked teams. Like, Korea is not the best team that we're going to play in the World Cup. I think if we were to get Korea in our World Cup group stage, we would be excited about that, thinking that we could win that game. There's plenty of teams better than Korea, and Japan being one of them. We'll talk about them in a moment. But in the Korea game, we got completely played off the park, and it was embarrassing to watch. It's one of those games where you're watching, and then you look down at your phone and you forget the game is going on because it's such a dross fest. It's so annoying to watch the USA men's national team get run over time and time again. They look like, and I say this every single time I talk about the USA men's national team, is that the other team looks like a way more cohesive unit, a way more organized team, and we're just sitting there looking like high schoolers that have there's no method to our madness at all. It's just madness, seriously. So that was my first thoughts about Korea. It was really frustrating. Now Japan, this is where the only asterisks to our bad performance really happened, because we saw some good things. And two good things I want to bring up is, one, Zendejas. He played great. That's probably the best performance I've seen him play in the USA men's national team shirt. I would probably say that he is above Luna in that kind of, because they're kind of the same player profile, kind of a little bit shorter, stockier, and I think if we were to choose between the two, I would choose Zendejas over Luna, which I have no hate against Luna. I think Diego Luna is going to be, a really good player for us in the future if he develops and if he kind of steps up his game, because in both games, Korea and Japan, I know he didn't start in the Japan game, but he went ghost. He was nowhere to be seen. And when Zendejas came on or played, he was a lot more involved than Luna was ever. So that was a plus. So we're seeing Zendejas really start to come into his own. He's been in great form in Liga MX, and so it's been really nice to have him come into the team and actually perform like we've been hoping. So that is good thing number one. Good thing number two, the formation change against Japan was so refreshing, because the Korea game and the games prior, our tactics were just not there. And it felt like we finally had something going on with this. I think it was like a 3-5-2, something like that. I don't remember. I'd have to look at it and actually go in and I kind of take a look at the formation, rewatch the game. Anyways, I thought that was great, especially for guys like Alex Freeman, who I didn't think was amazing. Of course, Arfston was there, which I'm not happy about. Whatever. We're about to get into that in just a moment. So that was the two good things that I really appreciated. Now, let's talk about Pochettino. Here's my thoughts. 2 words. Well, yeah, maybe more than 2 words. 2 words. Poch out. That is my thoughts right now. I think Pochettino should be removed from his managerial position as the USA men's national team coach. Whatever the money is, I know it's going to be a big, big payout if we do that. And who's going to be the person that takes his place if he does that? Honestly, I'm really tired of these poor roster selections, these lack of tactics. Yes, we saw a little bit in Japan, but the lack of cohesion and the lack of purpose in our squad, I just don't think that Pochettino is the man for the job. I am sick and tired of bringing in these camps of players that should be nowhere near our national team, just to cut less than a year away from the World Cup hosted in the United States of America. We should be seriously kicking on and getting properly prepared for this tournament and to make a deep run and surprise a lot of people, because the most important people that are going to be watching the USA men's national team this World Cup is going to be Americans. If there's any chance to get people to love this sport, is for the USA men's national team to do well in the World Cup. And the trajectory that Pochettino has been taking us, I don't think he has it to do that for this nation. Now, who should be his replacement? That can be a whole separate video. But right now, we're just talking about that situation. Now, he did say that this is his last camp that he's going to be testing players. So I'm praying. I think October can save us, because if we take the good parts, the good players, stay in the camp, keep the formation similar, keep those same tactics, and of course I feel like the heart has returned back to the squad. I feel like people care. I feel like people are actually putting an effort. Appreciate Diego Luna for bringing that to the squad. That was a huge thing for us. We needed that. And I think if we take the good parts from October, and of course leave the bad parts, easier said than done, obviously, into October, playing Ecuador, and I believe it's Australia or New Zealand, one of those. I think it's Australia. That could be huge. People will be returning from injury. Speaking of, like, Malik Tillman and Anthony Robinson, those guys will be coming back. That's going to be a massive boost to our squad. But we also need to be bringing in players like Cardoso. We need him back in the lineup. We don't need to see Berhalter. We don't need to see Roldan. We need Mark McKenzie back in the squad. Even Cameron Carter-Vickers or Austin Trusty. We need our lineup to have the best players. We need to bring McKennie back in. There's all these things. So those are the things that I think can help us in the October camp. This is my initial thoughts on the September camp. Kind of a rant video, but there's a few positives, mostly negatives. I'm Pochettino out. Let me know your thoughts. Are you still Pochettino in? Do you think he should be sacked? What are your thoughts? That is just my personal thoughts. Let me know in the comments. God bless. See you in the next one.